this morning? Good morning, beloveds. We've got a heavy title today. The air is also very heavy out there. We're under a severe thunderstorm risk today, mostly towards the end of the evening. So wherever you are, take precautions and be safe, especially if you're north of us. But yeah, all right. It is March 2nd. Our title is I Overcome Hate by the Recognition of Love. The quote is, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Matthew 5:44. There is but one presence in the universe. Since it is in and through everything, it must be in and through you. This presence manifests itself in and through all forms, all people, all conditions. This presence is life itself. Its nature is love and givingness. Negation may be an experience and a fact. It can never be an ultimate truth. Life cannot operate against itself. Always the negative is overcome by the positive. Good cannot fail to overcome evil. The meek alone shall inherit the earth. Finally, the consciousness of good must overcome the negation of evil. Finally, it will obliterate everything unlike itself, even as the sun dissolves the mist. I refuse to contemplate evil as a power. I know that it will flee from me. It dissolves and disappears in the light of love. I know that hate cannot exist where love is recognized. I turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in my experience. This light dissolves every image of evil. The manifestation of good is complete. Love makes the way clear before me. I am guided into an ever-widening experience of living. My every thought and act is an expression of goodness which flows from life. And if you haven't guessed by now, yes, that is E.H., that is Ernest Holmes. So let's go back really quickly to the line where he says, the meek alone shall inherit the earth. I didn't know what meek meant, and then Reverend Jesse got a hold of the meek, and what he did was he reminded us that meek does not mean weak. Meek means teachable. So it has nothing to do with weakness. What it means to be is teachable. And the interesting thing about that is if you are not teachable, you are not meek. Therefore, when we make mistakes, and all of us are going to make mistakes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. When we are willing to learn from our mistakes, we are meek. That is who is going to inherit the earth. That is because if you are teachable, then you can learn to create heaven on earth because you are willing to learn. And that's really kind of, it's a heavy one today. It's a heavy one today. And because earlier in the reading, because it's a real short one today, he says, I turn the searchlight upon every apparent evil. And that's one of the things that when you look at a lot of acts that we would consider evil, and by our standards they are, what you find are people who are trying to meet their needs. Now, are they going about it in the right way? No, they are not. But when we meet people who are trying to meet their needs, if we can find a way to help them meet their needs, which does not harm anyone, including themselves, and they are willing to learn a way to meet their needs without harming anyone, then they are meek, we are all teachable, and we can make the world a better place. Is everyone meek? No. Could everyone be meek? For the sake of my sanity, I believe yes. That is one of the reasons why Science of Mind has a social justice arm, because we understand that a lot of the evil that is done in the world is people trying to meet their needs, and they're just going about it in the wrong way. And so if we can help people meet their needs, and if you look at basic psychology, I believe it's Maslow. It's called Maslow's ladder. Uh, if we meet the basic needs of food, shelter, and security, then people can turn to other things. They can turn to spiritual contemplation. They can turn to art. They can turn to, all this other stuff. So there's a whole lot of, of evil that is done in this world by people trying to meet basic needs. So that's our responsibility is to figure out how everybody in the world can have their basic needs met. Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be people who are taking advantage of the systems, and one of the things that I will frequently quote is the line, it's not that we cannot feed the poor, it's that we cannot satisfy the rich. Okay? But again, they're still trying to meet a need. They're still trying to meet a need, and most of the time, the need that they are trying to meet is love and worthiness. All right? So, even there, they have the opportunity to be meek. They have the opportunity to be teachable, to learn that the ultimate infinite source of love comes from within, because that's how Ernest started out the reading. There's one presence. If there is only one presence, it is in and through you. Therefore, that basic need of being loved and feeling worthy starts within you by recognizing the presence within you, by recognizing what you're made of and who made you. You're made of God stuff by God. And if that's the truth of your being, then right there you're worthy. And there's nobody that can tell you you're not. Once you learn, and that's why I talk about when you learn that heaven is a state of mind, you learn that heaven is a state of consciousness, it becomes a superpower because nobody can take it away from you. It's that same thing with worthiness. Once you learn you're made of God's stuff by God, that means you're worthy. Nobody can take that away from you. It's a superpower. No matter what happens. So, in the world, yes, the world can be a chaotic mess. Frequently, it is a chaotic mess. But that one recognition right there, because like I said, when I was talking about Maslow's ladder, it's food, shelter, security. Well, the ultimate security is knowing who you are. When you know who you are, a whole lot of other things fall into place. Now, I also understand that when we're talking about security, we are also talking about physical safety. So we're aware of that and we work on that. So Ernest doesn't pull any punches. Ernest never pulls any punches. He doesn't soften things down. This is the work that we do. There is but one presence in the universe. Since it is in and through everything, it must be in and through you. Start there. The presence manifests itself in and through all forms, all people, all condition. The presence of life itself. Its nature is love and givingness. So negation may be an experience and may be a fact, but it is never the ultimate truth. Life cannot operate against itself. Negation is always the negation is overcome by the positive. Good cannot fail to overcome evil. The meek alone shall inherit the earth. Finally, the consciousness of goodness must overcome the negation of evil. Okay, he says finally twice. But down in his affirmation, he pulls no punches, okay? I refuse to contemplate evil as a power. Straight up, that's the teaching and science of mind. We don't believe in two powers. There's one power. There's one power, and that power is God. Evil is an effect. It is a misuse of power. I know that it will flee from me. It dissolves and disappears in the light of love. I know that hate cannot exist where love is recognized. So, that next line, I turn the searchlight of truth upon every apparent evil in my experience. You want a mission today? That's it. To turn the searchlight of love on every apparent evil in your life and look at it for what it actually is. And 9 times out of 10, probably 99.9% of the time, it's people trying to meet their needs, just going about it in the wrong way. We want to create a world that works for everybody. And what are we up against? One, teaching people who, and it's not even our job to teach people who they are. It's our job to show them who we are. If we show them that we are beloved children of God and we treat them as if they are beloved children of God, because that's who they are, that's where we start. When people recognize that there is one presence, that they are made by God, of God, and that every single living thing is the presence of God, then worthiness issues disappear. Worthiness, because we recognize the source of our being. So when we turn the searchlight of truth, the searchlight of truth, on the apparent evil and really see what's going on, the world isn't as bad as we think it is. It's a whole lot of confused people trying to make their way home. So we take Ram Dass's advice and remember that we are, in the end, just walking each other home. Now, how can we go about it and do it better? All right. Ernest, makes me work for it. You got your mission. Turn on that searchlight of truth. No matter what is going on in your life, your world, your consciousness, turn that searchlight of truth. Turn that searchlight of love on. And watch most of the nonsense disappear. Like sunlight dissolves the mist. Know who you are. Okay. Oof. Yeah. Heavy topic. I said Ernest didn't pull any punches. So I'm going to follow that up by reminding you of the spiritual practice that I encourage you to practice every single day. To do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. If you are going to turn the searchlight of truth and love on, situations, be kind, be loving, be compassionate, especially with yourself. When you practice on yourself, 1, you deserve your own love, kindness, and compassion. 2, you are creating a habit, a default setting, a first response, and you are building a bank. You are building a bank. The more loving, kind, and compassionate you are with yourself, the more that you build it up so that when you meet people who need a little extra, and let's be honest, we've all been there, you have enough to share. You have plenty to share. And when you practice it every day, you are also creating a well-worn, well-constructed path to the source of your own being. The source of infinite love, the source of infinite compassion, the source of infinite kindness. When we talk about the qualities of God, love, kindness, and compassion are qualities of God. That's what we want to align with. That's why we practice every day. And it looks like taking a deep breath before we speak. And it looks like taking a nap. And it looks like taking a walk. And it looks like self-care. Straight up self-care. Take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself. But it also looks like eating dessert first. Okay? It looks like making room for joy, which is also a quality of God. Joy is a quality of God. If we are going to do searchlights of truth, then we've got to make room for joy. We've got to take care of ourselves, and then we can take care of each other. And we can be the shining examples to the world that we want to be. We don't teach people. We show people by example. This is who we are. This is who we are. You want to know what we know? Come along for the journey. We hold up our light. We can't walk their path for them, but we can shine our light on their path so that they can see where they're going. And in the end, we're all going home. So, all right. And I do literally mean eat dessert first sometimes. I do mean follow it up with a good dinner or, meal, but sometimes it just feels good to eat dessert first. All right. Yeah, I'm going to let Ernest lie. Okay. He makes me work for it in ways that the other writers don't. So I'm also going to encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I'm going to encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. Your brain will work better if it's hydrated. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. There's weather coming. It's completely cloudy. There was a weird sunrise and I was like, well, I'm going to take a picture of that. So artificial light does count. What I'm talking about is called a circadian rhythm. It is a hormone. It is a normal hormone rhythm. Early in your day helps to reset those hormones. You'll sleep better at night. You'll have more energy during the day. It's science. You can look it up. So early in your day, bright light. You get up before the sun, artificial works. Or it's cloudy out there, artificial works. So, all right, moving on into the words of Ernest Holmes. I know we had a reading from Ernest, but I stole this quote a while ago and I love it. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. All right. We've been talking about the searchlight of truth, the searchlight of love. That does require you to open up the windows of your soul. It requires you to see yourself as a beloved child of God and to see every living being as a beloved child of God. It asks you to be vulnerable. It asks you to be meek. It asks you to be teachable. It asks you to be loving. But once you learn that heaven is a state of mind, it's a state of consciousness, as I said earlier, it's a superpower because once you learn to do it, nobody can take it away from you. Just like once you learn who you are, when you learn that you are a beloved child of God, that you were made of God's stuff, by God's stuff, nobody can take that away from you. Straight up superpower. It's a state of grace. And heaven ceases to be a place, can become any place. And if we continue to practice, it can become every place. You want a world that works for everybody? That's how we get there. That's how we get there. When everybody learns who they are and what heaven is. All right. I surrender to the wisdom of Emma. One of the ways that you can do this, opening the windows of your soul, look for the good and praise it. If we're going to turn the searchlight of truth on, we're going to look for the good and praise it, because truth's going to find a lot of good. I will remind you, no matter what the situation is going on, there's always going to be good there because you bring the good with you, because you are the good. All right? Remember that. Remember that. Moving forward, I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark, on the social medias that we are on. I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. We do try and put good, uplifting, wonderful content on there. You want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. And Jesse's all excited about this new feature on our website, which is creativelife.org, where the Sunday talks, you can now click on them and it'll take you to our YouTube channel, where there is fantastic content. We've got probably going on 3 or 4 years now. So all of Jesse's talks are available. Our soul sessions are available. All of our, special guest speakers are available. It's so please check it out. We're very excited about it. We have a really amazing soul session coming up next Wednesday that we're very excited about, because this lady did several marches on Washington, including with Martin Luther King. So we're super excited to hear some history from her. So please, check that out. All right. I think I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, a searchlight of truth day, a searchlight of love day, a watching love do amazing things day, a knowing who we are day, opening the windows of our soul day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in action. You are God in motion. You are a godling in whom God is well pleased and well represented. That is the truth of our being. All right. I say it every day. I will continue to say it every day because it's the truth. All right. Moving on into Reverend David. Should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Like I said, there is weather coming, so please be safe. Take care of yourself. And know that you're loved. Always. Always. I will see you next time.